The chamber was silent, the air thick with anticipation. Cameras flashed, pens scribbled, and all eyes locked on the two women seated across from one another. On one side sat Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her sharp wit and fiery rhetoric always ready to ignite headlines. On the other sat Pam Bondy, the former Florida Attorney General, whose years in the courtroom had forged a presence both commanding and composed. It was a moment bound to explode, two powerful voices colliding before an audience that expected nothing less than fireworks. The tension began when AOC leaned forward, her tone biting and unmistakably sarcastic. "You know, Pam," she said with a smirk that rippled through the chamber, "a law degree doesn't make someone automatically right. Frankly, it doesn't mean much if you can't use it to help people. Some folks hide behind their titles when they've got no real argument." The room stirred. Supporters of AOC chuckled under their breath. Reporters tapped frantically at their keyboards, already crafting the next viral headline. AOC sat back, satisfied that her jab had landed. To many, it looked like she had already won the exchange before Bondy even had the chance to speak. But Bondy didn't flinch. She sat upright, her expression calm, eyes focused not on AOC but on the American people watching from home. She allowed the silence to linger, her poise commanding attention in a way that needed no theatrics. For 47 long seconds, she said nothing, letting the weight of the moment build, letting the crowd lean forward in anticipation. And then, in a single sentence, she struck. "A law degree may not make me right, Congresswoman," she said, her voice steady but cutting, "but it taught me how to fight for justice in a courtroom while you've been learning how to mock people in front of cameras." The words dropped like a gavel. The chamber gasped. Reporters froze mid-sentence, realizing the story had just shifted entirely. AOC's smirk faltered, her confidence momentarily shaken. The silence that followed was louder than any applause. It was the stunned recognition that Bondy had not just answered the insult, but dismantled it with surgical precision. For a moment, time seemed suspended. AOC shifted in her chair, scrambling to recover, but the damage had been done. Bondy's words had exposed the difference between performance and principle. She hadn't shouted, hadn't raised her hand, hadn't needed theatrics. One sentence was enough. But what made the moment truly powerful wasn't the clash itself, it was what came after. Bondy leaned forward, her tone softening but her message carrying the weight of conviction. She spoke not to belittle AOC, but to remind everyone why they were there. "Debates aren't about mocking each other's achievements," Bondy continued, her eyes now on the audience, "they're about fighting for the people who put us here. We owe them more than sarcasm. We owe them honesty, courage, and respect." The room fell in.